welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name, as always, is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Bonzo Gonzalez. That's Bonzo Gonzalez, and he's driving the T-29 on an encounter battle on Ensk. T-29 being a tier 7 heavy tank for the Americans. One of my favourite tanks again. I think it's just the American tier 7s hold a special place in my heart, as I was mentioning the other day. T-20 medium being definitely my favourite medium tank so far, if not one of my favourite tanks. And I think T-29 heavy probably my second favourite heavy tank, obviously after the E-75 so far. So a very nice tank in my opinion. I had some great success with it and a lot of fun with it as well. But anyway, on to this replay. Bonzo, I'm just going to call him Bonzo from here on out. Going to be heading off to the left-hand flank. I'm going to be heading in towards this cap circle. Just taking a little bit of a circuitous route to get to this area here. Obviously, all these windows are blocked up now. Can't see anything through those. But I'm going to be coming to this central road area, just to have a quick look down over the cap circle. Probably nope. Just going to stop behind the wall a little bit, spotting out a few of the enemies. Got a good contingent of tank destroyers over on this left-hand side, but his team is being a little bit reluctant to move at the moment. As you can see, most of them camping on that right-hand flank. That Tiger is starting to move right about now, but both teams are pretty tank destroyer heavy, so this is probably going to be a bit of a slow-paced match with a little bit of camping. Spots out an AMX. Gets a good hit on him. The AMX rushes his shot and just buries it into the wall. T-29 heavy does get a good cannon, but it does have a pretty long reload time. As you can see there, 9 and a bit seconds. So it looks like nobody else is really in this central area, so Bonzo just going to move across to this train line area. Knows that this AMX is here, puts one straight through the side of his turret there. And this guy's really got nowhere to go. Caught between a rock and a hard place now, as he's got people. Well, he looks like he was trying to duel with that KV-13, but he's now taking on that Tiger 1. So these guys are now having to start falling back, and Bonzo gets another good hit onto the AMX there. Almost gets himself taken out, and that SU-152 puts a little bit of damage through the front armor there. Trying to take out the AMX there, but decides to shoot the SU instead, as he's a much easier target. Was able to track him and get some hit point damage on him, so it was a nice shot there. Going to come forward and use the SU's corpse as hull down, which is fantastic really. It looks like this thing was just built to be covered for the T-29. As you see, just blocking off the majority of the body of the T-29. And just leaving that turret exposed. And as you know, the front armor of the T-29's turret is considerable, to say the least. When it's hull down, it's pretty much indestructible, even firing with a huge cannon with gold rounds. Not very likely to put one through the front of the turret of a T-29. So his ally there, the KV-13, just decided to rush on to his death, and that leaves Bonzo Gonzalez to look down over the base. He has got this AT-7, so I'm going to try and pick out his weak spot. Looks like he is flush on now, so should be able to easily put one through the little top hat. And then the Jagdpanther is able to take him out from the side, and Bonzo heads himself down to the southern flank. Would normally be the base of the enemy team, but because it's an encounter battle, there's obviously no base there. Going to try and flank around the rear of this T-25/2 there, who is concentrating solely on this Jagdpanther. Not quite. Has he got a shot here through this wall? Not really sure. We're going to put one through anyway. Yes, he has. He did indeed have a shot through the wall, and that is kill number 2. So it looks like the left-hand flank's all dealt with now and all sewn up. It's now going to be time to move their attention to this right-hand side. As you can see, even though the enemy team has pretty much overwhelmed them on that flank, they do still have a few stragglers who decided that camping was the order of the day. And camping right in the back here. Just see a nice little effect there with the 8.11 update. You now see the direction of the shell travel when you ricochet. So you did just see a shot ricochet off the T-29 there and go flying off into the sky. And that's just a nice little effect there, just to add a little bit extra to the game. So the enemy team got a few tanks camping around the back here, which I was a little surprised about. I thought most of them went up this way, firing off a shot into the shadows there. just to see if he can get some damage onto somebody. Does flush out this T-20. He starts moving. Going to see if he can get something through the side of him. Rushes his shot just a little bit. He doesn't want to move too far out into the open as his allies are dropping rather quickly now. Probably about time that they need to push on somebody. Who is that in the far corner? No idea, as his name is obscured. Probably one of those Jagdpanthers. Finds the T-20 again. Should be able to get a good chunk of damage through his armor, which indeed he is. Leaves him just 140 hit points. And this T-20 is going to have to back off even further and probably try and link up with his tank destroyers. Takes a shot in the rear from that Jagdpanther there, but is able to get into cover. Going to try and charge down this other Jagdpanther, which he does spot in the distance there. Camping pretty much as far back on the K line as it is possible to get. Luckily for Bonzo Gonzalez, it looks like he's slightly hulled down here, as he's not taking any damage from the Jagdpanther. Maybe the Jagdpanther was just a bad shot, who knows? When he's able to take him out in the end and pick up kill number 3. Spots out this T-20, making a run for it. Has a shot there, but not quite able to get anything on the T-20. Has been spotted there, probably by this Jagdpanther just in front of him, but he's got a KV-13 coming around now to offer some support and flank around behind that Jagdpanther. Bonzo's going to have to go and offer him some support, because if that KV-13 gets himself killed, then it's going to be Bonzo Gonzalez all by himself against these 4 enemy tanks. But he should have his rear armor as he comes around the corner. Got to take his shot quickly, which indeed he does, and he's able to take out that Jagdpanther and pick up kill number 4. So the two of them going to move together up this right-hand side now. Maybe come around past their spawn area and then loop back towards the cap circle. Enemy team not starting a base capture here. Probably think they've got this one in the bag. And to be honest, it is 3 versus 2. But to be honest, I wouldn't be chancing anything to look at this point, considering the T-29 has 4 kills. Probably go ahead and start a base capture if I was the enemy team. You can see the SU-152 and the AMX-AC were close to the base last time they were spotted. If they'd started a base capture right around then, it would be progressing nicely by now, and it will be forcing Gonzalez and the KV-13 here to come in and try and do something about it at this point. So they've probably just played a little bit of rotation here. The SU and the AMX probably headed all the way back to their spawn area, while Gonzalez and the KV-13 headed up to their own spawn area and just kind of circled around each other on the map around this central train area. So now it's just going to be a case of finding each other, and the first one to make a mistake is probably going to pay the price. Does see the T-20 here, but he hasn't been spotted himself. Not quite able to get a shot on that T-20. Could only see a tiny bit of him. Probably should have reversed to that position first and then had his shot, as he could see down the straight between those 2 trains. Gonna head down this area here. Got to be careful though, because this area doesn't have any crossing areas. So once you get into this area, you're pretty much stuck there, and there's nowhere really to take cover. So deciding against that. And there we go. The KV-13 spots out the AMX. Gonna try and circle around the back of him. Going to be doing some work here, and Bonzo going to come and offer some support. The AMX has only got 92 hit points, so it's just a matter of routine for the KV-13 to take him out. No idea where that shell went. Reticule was fully aimed on the T-20 there, and the shell even looked like it went into the T-20, but his crew not reporting anything. Oh, it looks like he may actually have a little bit of cover there, so that's probably why the shell didn't hit, as his the silhouette disappeared as he moved to that top right-hand area, which means he probably has some cover from something. Now this SU-152 is joining the fray, and he's on full hit points, so this is going to be a little bit of a difficult battle for them. KV-13 gets himself taken out by the T-20, but Gonzalez able to finish him off and pick up kill number 5, and that just leaves himself and this 152 here. Thinking about using the corpse of the other 152 as cover there, but knows for a fact that this SU isn't going to move out and assault him head on, so he's going to have to go and take the fight to him. To be honest, I probably would have went and started to reverse towards the base there and forced the SU to come out, but Gonzalez just thinking he can take him on. He's probably not going to be able to one-shot him with the cannon that he's got unless he gets a really good penetrating hit. So he can probably afford to be a little bit gung-ho with this one. Gets a good hit through the front armor of the SU-152 there. Oh, and he shoots his gun mantlet by the looks of it. Misses that one. One more good shot from Gonzalez. Fires just to the right of the SU's gun mantlet. Puts a shot through his armor. Takes him out. And that is GG and the game. So an absolutely awesome replay there from Bonzo Gonzalez. Picking up 6 kills and almost 5,000 points of damage in the T-29 heavy tank. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Stick around because as always the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user JLH79. That's JLH79, and he's driving the Black Prince on a standard battle on the south coast. Black Prince being a tier 7 heavy tank for the British. This thing's pretty nice. If you ever watch me play with Circon on his live stream, you know that I do use this tank quite often, as I think it's pretty damn good. The armor on this thing can be very, very troll if you know how to angle it properly and use it correctly. You do tend to bounce a lot of shots from your front armor and your turret, and the shots that you don't bounce tend to get absorbed by your track, and you don't take any damage anyway. So JLH going to be heading to this right-hand flank. We're taking more of a central approach here. Going to be going to offer some support to his allies. You've got a good contingent of tanks pretty much in every position here. Got a few guys on the right, few in the middle, and a few on the left as well. So this one should play out pretty nicely. We're going to speed this one up until we actually get to start some of the action. The Black Prince not known for being the speediest of beasts. The problem I find with it is by the time you reach the battle, it's often over. You've missed the action and there's no longer a fight occurring there, and then when you head off to the next one, the same thing can tend to happen. But then that is the price you pay for all of the armor that this thing does carry, which is quite considerable. Finds an E25 here. If you can get this E25 head on, the E25 is not really going to be able to do any damage to him. Does find a T25/2 here, puts one shot through the front of him and he decides to back off. Black Prince does have the Black Prince's cannon does have the same features as the rest of the British tanks, which is low alpha damage, decent penetration, and very fast rate of fire. Of course, nowhere near as good a rate of fire as this E25, but it doesn't matter as he puts a shell straight through the front of that E25. Going to fire off another one. It's got another good bit of damage onto that E25, and he decides to turn tail and run there. Knows that he definitely can't take on the Black Prince head on. He got a little bit greedy to try and take out that T25 AT there. Which, nope, I thought somebody taking them out, but it was something else happening on the map. But JLH trying to get a shot on this Panther, but it looks like he's just blocked at every turn by the train. There we go, managed to back off far enough, but not quite able to land that shot, just rushed it a little bit. Second shot is a lot more successful. The Panther does not have the gun depression to be able to get a hit onto the Black Prince there. Takes a second one before deciding to back off. And this E25 still sort of posturing around the edge of that hill there. I wouldn't recommend going around the hill if I was at E25. Maybe able to pick out the weak spots of the Black Prince, but he's pretty much just one shot from death, and the hit point pool of the Black Prince, there's going to be no way he can burn him down in time. So JLH going to push up forward. Looks like this E25 had the right idea and has just ran away. He definitely doesn't want to try and take on a Black Prince from the front by himself. And there he is there. Just left his head exposed just a little bit. Didn't have his gun on target, so wasn't able to do anything back to the Black Prince. And JLH picks up 2 very quick kills there. just in the nick of time as well, as without those kills, they would be losing 10 kills to 5. As it is, though, losing 10 kills to 7. So still behind in this game, but not considerably behind just yet. Looks like the enemy team's got them pushed back to their half of the map. So everybody's going to have to drop back and try and put up some kind of determined defense now. Looks like they have been flanked around the back by that Type 58. We're going to have to leave the tank destroyers to that one, unfortunately, as GLH doesn't have the speed to be able to get up that hill and help in time. Does see that the flak bus is in trouble. Decides to shoot away that house, as he definitely has the reload speed to be able to do that. One good shot. No! Oh, well, I suppose I was going to say that's a low roll, but it's not. The Black Prince doesn't do the most damage in the world, but gets a good hit on him, and then the SU-152 is able to finish him off. What is the average damage of this gun? 150, so that was a pretty average roll there. Possibly could have taken him out, but that would have required a lot of luck there. Finds a T-25. Looking down on the T-25 AT, and GLH just puts a good shot through his sidearm. A T-25 rocking forwards and backwards. I don't think he realises how close the Black Prince is here. Rocking forwards and backwards, probably in an attempt to try and throw off whoever is shooting at him. Unfortunately, he's not going forward or back near far enough, just able to keep his crosshairs steady on him. Unfortunately, didn't quite get any damage on that shot, but there we go. The T-25 AT's able to finish him off, but GLH got 3 good damaging shots in there for over 450 points of damage for no reply there. The T-25 just doing absolutely nothing. To be honest, he should have either backed off on the first hit or driven down the little hill and tried to flank around the T-25 AT, and then that would have left these 3 tanks here. The 2 tank destroyers and the medium tank would have been able to swarm around the T-25 and do something about that. As it is, one T-25 AT with 100 hit points is able to hold off 4 tanks here until help arrives. And just in the nick of time, this SU-152 and the Black Prince of GLH here turn up to offer some support. There's an S-35CA and a T-34 here. He's going to crest the ridge. To be honest, should probably take out the S-35 first. And indeed he is. Gets a good hit through his armour. Now somebody should be able to put something through his side armour. Not that it really matters. The Black Prince comes in for the ram, and he's able to take him out and pick up kill number 3. This T-34 is not going to be able to get any damage through the Black Prince's armour. Silly T-34. He decides to turn tail and run. He gets taken out by the T-25 AT. And that was an absolutely excellent piece of defensive work there by that T-25 AT, holding off 4 tanks until support was able to arrive in the form of this SU-152 and the Black Prince here. So absolutely excellent piece of defensive work by the Allies here, turning the tide of battle. And as you can see, the enemy team only has this AMX 13AM and the KV-1 left, so just the artillery and the KV-1, both of them camping in the base. So all of them just going to head in there in an attempt to take these guys out. So they've turned what looked like a possible defeat into an almost certain victory now, as all the enemy team has left is this KV-1. So it's just a case of closing the net and tightening the noose around this KV-1. He's going to have nowhere to go. To be honest, well, I was going to say maybe AFK, but I've just glanced across there and seen that he has 1 kill. So he's not AFK, but he's still going to pay for his base camping ways, and he's just going to get pounded down now from all sides by everybody. So would not like to be this guy. GLH just in the excitement didn't bother to aim his shot, just fired off into the KV-1 there. Second one is a penetrating shot. Gonna see who can pick up the kill. It's not GLH, it's the T-25 AT that put up that great defense earlier, and everybody on the team who was left alive did some fantastic work at the end there. So absolutely awesome replay there from GLH79. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a good replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like, favourite, and stick a comment in the comment section below letting me know exactly what you thought. And if you're not already, then please consider hitting that subscribe button for more content like this in the future. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.